Hello, my name is Ravn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be teaching you how to make a designer level couch for under $500. We're going to be taking a rusty, dusty, crusty Facebook Marketplace couch that we got for $200 and flipping it into something designer immaculate that you're going to absolutely love. I am not a professional furniture flipper. This is my first time doing a furniture redo piece, a furniture flip of any kind, and definitely I've never done a couch makeover. So if you are a beginner as well and you're kind of wondering, is this something I could pull off? I am going to teach you how to make a high quality professional, literal designer looking couch for under $500. So this is the story of how I did it, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it as well. Step one, I located a couch on Facebook Marketplace. This is the terrible couch that I found on Facebook Marketplace that inspired the entire idea. But as much as I love it right now, when I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, I was like, is this a terrible idea or is it a great idea? But the thing was, my heart was torn. I saw it online, it was $200, and the listing said either the ugliest or the coolest couch you've ever seen. And in my head, I was like, terrible idea, terrible idea. How are you even gonna be able to afford this? What if it doesn't turn out? But also, I couldn't stop thinking about it and how badly I wanted this really interesting couch. So I finally made the executive decision after negotiating with this lady back and forth for like a week. We should go pick it up. Now this is when things start to get difficult. What I didn't realize going into this was this is a huge undertaking. My original plan was buy the $200 couch, buy a $100 king size comforter, put it over the couch, staple it into place, and call it a day. So it was gonna be a $300 couch makeover. But boy, was I wrong. This couch was originally made in the 70s, we believe. So it was very, very heavy. I had to get people to help me load it onto a trailer and bring it back. Something that these furniture flip videos is kind of hiding is how disgusting some of this furniture can be. Like in the photo, I knew it was bad because you could see disturbingly how disgusting it was. There was like a blanket covering part of it. Like you could just assume that it wasn't the cleanest. But when we were in these people's house and getting it out and pulling it out and the smell and everything, and when I tell you, I was like, oh, this is gross. So step one, we get the couch, it's at my house. We're like, we've got to redo the entire thing. Everything on here needs to be removed. So we ripped the entire cover off. There was hundreds of staples. It took my mom and I hours of like leaning over, peeling these little things up. Now we removed them all from the outside edge, all from the inside edge. And then there was also the detached backrest that we also had to remove them from. So just keep in mind, like time-wise, this was hours. This was a multi-day thing just to like vacuum it off, just to flip it up, just to get the staples out, just to get the cover off. Like everything was so many steps. So when you take your cover off, do not throw it away, just set it aside for later on. Now I was feeling a little bit discouraged about my couch project at this time because I had started to realize how big of an undertaking it was, that I wasn't gonna be able to do it alone considering the couch was so giant. I can't move it around, I can't flip it up and down, like it's huge. So my sister comes over, she looks at it with me and she's like, we can make a new cover for this couch. Let's go look at our fabric options and see if they're in your price range. So we head over to Joann's and I find a bunch of fabric that I had seen online when I was projecting the cost, and it was terrible. And then I see this gorgeous fabric that I'm like, oh, I want a couch in this fabric so bad. It's this like white, crispy, it's so beautiful. I was like, this looks professional. So come to find out, regular fabric is like maybe a little bit pricey. Upholstery fabric, next level. So I was like, hey, I think we should get this. She's like, well, they were running a 40% off sale. We need to get it now when they're running the sale. I said, you are absolutely right. So we plan out how much it's gonna cost to get the right amount of fabric. We realized that it was only gonna cost us, I think, like $80. We decided to buy foam for the couch as well. So the one other material that we had to get at Joann Fabrics was called batting. Not batting, it's muslin. So you could put batting down, which we forewent. We didn't do any batting because we already had the additional foam with batting. You can do batting if you'd like, but muslin is like the most important. So this is what's gonna make your fabric like slide on really seamlessly without like moving any of the construction of the foam or anything below. So the muslin cover only costs about $15 for the entire couch. Honestly, some people probably would use that because it's just like works. But it's like a thin, fine muslin fabric, and you use that to like pull down and compress and smooth out any bumps in your foam, to smooth out like any edges, any rippling, anything like that. The muslin is very, very important.
And again, when we're talking about cost, you don't think about it.
So much additional things that I just never would have thought of when I first was coming up with the plan of how I wanted to execute this project.
And your total is $299.52.
I love that for me. We get all the materials, we get into the car, and we head on home. So step 3, we have the foam, and we decide that we're gonna move the backrest of the couch. It was in the middle of the couch. That would make this such a cozy, comfy couch. I think we should do it. So we got some guys to help us, and they came in and they filled the inside of the gap with some wood. They added wood to the back where we could attach the backrest with a little doohickey for that. And then we filled the hole with foam. So once we had it all foamed up, everything was moved. The last thing we had to do was make a pattern. And luckily, my sister, she was like, yes, I know exactly how to do this. The worst part is you have to take that old grimy cover out and cut it into like the pieces wherever they sewed the 2 seams together. And then you take all those pieces, you lay them down on your new fabric, then you pin them down onto the new fabric, then you trace around them, leaving a border for seams, and then after everything's like perfectly laid out, then you cut them out. And you need to label which pieces go next to each other. I don't want to mislead you into thinking that this was super easy. When I tell you, it took us days of figuring this out. It's just very, very time consuming. Like these pieces, each individual piece is like the size of me. So it was taking me hours of like leaned over, pinning this little thing in, marking it up, cutting it out. And she's like, hey, it has to be just perfect. So the next part about the fabric is once we started laying out the pieces, we realized that we only had maybe half of the fabric that we needed. So although originally we were under our $300 budget, we sold out every single Joann's in the area, which there's like 3 of them. But when it comes to the budget, we were still under the $500 budget, but slowly progressing closer and closer to that $500 budget. So to finalize the cover, the only other materials that you're going to need is how you're going to sew the upholstery cover together. So one, you need upholstery thread. And then secondly, if you have a sewing machine, you also need an upholstery needle separate from your regular sewing needle. All things that I was willing to skip. I was like, we don't really need to do any of these. But my sister was like dead set that this was gonna be a beautiful, gorgeous couch. And I was like, we're probably gonna have to throw it away after this because it's gonna look so bad and it's gonna turn out terrible. So luckily, she was like, no. Like, get it together. Let's get the right things. Let's make it look beautiful. And when I tell you, she put hours and hours and hours and hours of effort into sewing this entire thing together. It turned out gorgeous and beautiful, but basically she sewed it together. And then once that's done, your cover's basically done. You just need to put it on the couch. And then once you get it pulled over, we had like just enough edge to be able to staple it on. And again, this took a whole team. We had to put it on like a table to hold it up off the ground so that we could like get underneath it and staple it. And we literally stayed up like all night long working on stapling this couch, which was like probably the most fun, exciting part for me because you could like see how close you are to getting done. But at the end of the day, stapling is still a lot of work. Our final step was making feet. So we made feet for the couch that are gonna be kind of seamless and blend in, and we used a 2-inch dowel, and then you can see my construction-y friends made this little hole for the screw, and that's basically all you need. But I didn't make it. You have to get somebody who knows how to make them to make them. This is what it looks like. Overall, I was very, very pleased with the feet that we added to the couch, and that was kind of our final step. So after that, I left, and then they took it off of the risers, put it out for me, and I was able to look at the final product. Oh my gosh, with the professional quality. This is so good. Look at it. Wow, this is really actually like so much better than I imagined. You guys did an amazing job.
It's better than I imagined.
It's literally like the little secret feet. The vibes are so fun. Oh, look at this. It's so good. This couch looks so professional. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing conversation starter. And overall, it was just plain fun. So even though it wasn't the easiest of things, like definitely not the same as just like whipping over to CB2 or like IKEA or something and grabbing a couch real quick, the experience and the community that it brought together was so fun and amazing, and I can't recommend that enough. I'm so proud of how it turned out. I'm so amazed that it even looks good, but I genuinely enjoy that like I know nobody else can have a couch just like this because it is so unique. It's like precious to me. If you are thinking about doing something like this, I really encourage you to do it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, if it gave you information or if it was just entertaining. If you want to just comment down below and like say a thank you to every single person who participated in this video to make it possible, just like from my heart as well. I just think that's so special. Also comment if there's anything else that you would like to see, if you have any other questions. I'm really trying to give you guys all of the details. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.